Hi, my name is Trang, T-R-A-N-G, and my last name is T-R-A-N. I'm a healthcare worker with Memorial Hospital for 25 years. And I did not get the vaccine. I only got COVID last year. And now my employer is mandating the vaccine. And if I don't get it, I will be terminated in 2 weeks. I applied for the religious exemption. I filled out an application in my best knowledge, and it was denied yesterday. So we were told that in the next 2 weeks, if I don't have any intention to get the vaccine, I'll be terminated and we'll go on a 90-day suspension, and I will lose my job by January 2022.
If I have to get it, I just, it's going to be against my will.
So what we're here today is to support our healthcare workers here locally, because a lot of them now have this draconian mandate that's been forced on them to either be vaccinated or lose your job. And so we're trying to raise awareness of that because of these mandates that don't even give any options, any alternatives. It's either this or you're out. And we also know about all the facts and evidence about all these things that are going on with the vaccines themselves. We also know the facts and evidence about the virus itself. And when you weigh all the facts and evidence, it doesn't match what they're doing as far as the mandates are concerned. They shouldn't be mandating anything based on the facts and evidence. Is there room to be cautious? Of course, but it doesn't mean that you lose your job if you're not vaccinated. Because what we have seen from the CDC numbers, VAERS, the reactions to the vaccines, and the fact that the COVID-19 virus has a death rate that's on the level of 1.6. The common flu is at 1.0 to 2.0 on a given year. So we have the COVID-19 that's 1.6. That doesn't warrant a vaccine mandate. That is on the level of the common flu. So we're trying to figure out, why would they put these people's lives on the line to lose their jobs over something that's on the level of a flu? Yes, is it deadly for those who have comorbidities or elderly? Of course it is. That's not what we're saying. We're saying this doesn't warrant people losing their jobs. And so we're trying to stand for the healthcare workers here in Kern County and in the hospitals here. And hopefully through getting the word out and getting this information out of seeing real lives being affected by these crazy mandates, that it will bring enough awareness to people that they will maybe stop this or halt this or give alternatives to these healthcare workers. Because what happens when all these people lose their jobs? What are the hospitals going to do? They're going to lack healthcare workers. So that means on the ground, you and I will get less healthcare because there's less workers. And so this affects all of us. So when you see this happen, understand that eventually, if this goes through, it's going to affect you and I. So when you go to the hospital, you go to a healthcare facility, you're just not going to get the care that you got before because there's going to be less workers, less help. And so it brings ramifications through all of Kern County. So this is why we're concerned. We want to lift these people up in prayer, obviously, because they are claiming religious exemption. And according to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 12 through 20, the body is the Holy Spirit's temple. And therefore, we are not to pollute our body, put anything in our body that would harm it, or anything on our bodies that would harm it. And so because of that passage right there, they have every legitimate right to claim a religious exemption. But yet, what we find out is these hospitals are doing like a quota, because they'll take a religious exemption from somebody, and then over here, they won't take a religious exemption. We heard of a story where a couple, a married couple, gave their religious exemption. They accepted one from one spouse, and they didn't accept the exemption from another spouse. So what does that tell you? It appears that there might be quotas, or the person taking it in doesn't even care. It's just random. And so when we see that, that should cause a red flag to all of us to realize something's not right here. Something's going on here. And whether it's a quota or whatever, we also know that these religious exemptions are going to eventually try to eliminate those as well down the line. Until we can see the healthcare community saying eventually, oh, we're not going to allow religious exemptions anymore. We're not even going to allow medical exemptions anymore. So either you get vaccinated or you don't work. And that's where this is going. guys, when you see that, that is authoritarianism. That is totalitarianism. That is what you see in communist China or Russia or Cuba. And that's right here in America. So that should concern us all. So when you see these poor healthcare workers getting impacted like that, eventually you're going to get impacted as well. So we want to support them. We want to lift them up in prayer and do everything we can to stop these forced mandates.
With all the craziness that's going on out here, I think it's a great time and opportunity for the local church. With all the confusion and conflict and forced mandates and, the misinformation that's flowing, this is a great time for the church to be the church. I really believe that. I'm not just saying that. I think it is that time. No one today wants to live in the first century when they were persecuting and killing Christians because of their belief. And I'm not saying that's necessarily happening in this country, but it is happening all over the world, in different places, Coptic Christianity. But I think right now it's time for us to stand up and stand on our values and what we really believe. And that's what I encourage people to do, especially now with the vaccines. And talk to your doctor, talk to your official, pray, talk to your mentors and make your decision what it is for the best for you and your family, and stand on those principles. Get the politics out of it. This is a health issue, and really do your research and be honest with yourself and not just get the emotions in there. Yeah, people are dying, and yet there are people being helped at the same time. And there are risks with everything. Life is risky. You're never going to have 100% free of risk. And so I think this is the time we need to step up. And we need to engage, we need to endure, and most critically, we need to be able to inspire. I mean, if we can't do that as believers, then I think this world really then has no hope. So we need to get out there 24/7 and talk to your neighbors. Show how we handle difficulties. And this is what I think Jesus wants us to do.